separated from his wife and son, who had returned to Austria, cut off from the allowance guaranteed to him by the Treaty of Fontainebleau, and aware of rumors he was about to be banished to a remote island in the Atlantic Ocean. Napoleon escaped from Elba in the brig Inconstant on 26 February 1815 with 700 men. 2 days later, he landed on the French mainland at Gulf Havana and started heading north. The 5th Regiment was sent to intercept him and made contact just south of Grenoble on 7 March 1815. Napoleon approached the regiment alone, dismounted his horse and, when he was within gunshot range, shouted to the soldiers, "Here I am. Kill your emperor, if you wish." The soldiers quickly responded with, "Vive l'Empereur," nay, who had boasted to the restored Bourbon king, Louis XVIII, that he would bring Napoleon to Paris in an iron cage, affectionately kissed his former emperor and forgot his oath of allegiance to the Bourbon monarch. The two then marched together toward Paris with a growing army. The unpopular Louis XVIII fled to Belgium after realizing that he had little political support. On 13 March, the powers at the Congress of Vienna declared Napoleon an outlaw. 4 days later, Great Britain, Russia, Austria, and Prussia each pledged to put 150,000 men into the field to end his rule. Napoleon arrived in Paris on 20 March and governed for a period now called the 100 Days. By the start of June, the armed forces available to him had reached 200,000, and he decided to go on the offensive to attempt to drive a wedge between the oncoming British and Prussian armies. The French Army of the North crossed the frontier into the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. In modern-day Belgium, Napoleon's forces fought two coalition armies, commanded by the British Duke of Wellington and the Prussian Prince Blücher. At the Battle of Waterloo on 18 June 1815, Wellington's army withstood repeated attacks by the French and survived through the day while the Prussians arrived in force and broke through Napoleon's right flank. Napoleon returned to Paris and found that both the legislature and the people had turned against him. Realizing that his position was untenable, he abdicated on the 22nd of June in favor of his son. He left Paris 3 days later and settled at Josephine's former palace in Malmaison, on the western bank of the Seine, about 17 kilometers (11 miles) west of Paris. Even as Napoleon traveled to Paris, the coalition forces swept through France, arriving in the vicinity of Paris on the 29th of June, with the stated intent of restoring Louis XVIII to the French throne. Udharan Chenne. When Napoleon heard that Prussian troops had orders to capture him dead or alive, he fled to Rochefort, considering an escape to the United States. British ships were blocking every port. Napoleon surrendered to Captain Frederick Maitland on HMS Bellerophon on 15 July 1815.